Hi, I'm Theodore Smith, CEO and architect of PHP Experts Incorporated. Today, we're going to continue part 2 of the cheap sites tutorial. I'll show you how to buy a domain, how to set it up, and basically get your site going. Your very first step in creating a website is to think of a domain name. I'm creating a project with my friend Ruth on raising the world's vibrations via concerted worldwide meditation on a specific date. We're targeting December 12th, 2015. So I thought of the website resonance.how because if you get a basic domain name like resonance, you can have subdomain names that aren't necessarily www. Like I was thinking maybe harmonic.resonance.how, and if they forget the harmonic part, then they resonance.how is still a pretty cool domain name. Now, there are literally hundreds of places to buy domain names on the internet. The problem is that virtually all of these are resellers. You don't really want a reseller for the obvious reason that they all provide a basic service, and resellers usually give you inferior quality with higher prices. So why do it? Two of the best ones I know of are 101 Domains, 101domain.com, but I prefer Namecheap.com. One of the best ones I know of is Namecheap.com. I use them for myself in almost all my domains, unless I can get it cheaper at another one. Sometimes I won't use them, but for the most part, they have an outstanding service. So to go there, just type in Namecheap. Just click. They updated their website about a month ago, I would say 2 months ago, and I really like it. It's much more visual and precise than it used to be. So I'm going to wait for this to load, then go to domain registration, and then type in the domain. And if you don't really know of an extension, you can just push enter. It'll show you lots and lots of different domains. This is a dictionary word, so of course almost all of them are going to be taken. I mean, that's just a given. All these make offers. But I already know what I want, so I'm just going to type in .how. It says it's going to sell it to me for $25.88, which is acceptable. Click it. View cart. Now Namecheap offers you this free WhoisGuard. WhoisGuard is basically where they hide your name. So if we go to my Colombian corporation of univos.co, it doesn't have WhoisGuard because it's a public company, and I want everyone to know that I basically own it. I mean, why not, right? I mean, I'm pretty proud that I'm creating the first Wi-Fi mobile phone in Latin America. And so this is what it normally looks like. You can see my name, the Univos SAS, the business address in Bogota, my work number right here. It looks like the wrong email address. I'm going to want to change that. But basically, without WhoisGuard, your registration information is public, and most of the time you probably want that, especially if your domain ever gets in dispute, God forbid, like if an employee steals it, God forbid. If you have the opportunity, I would say keep WhoisGuard off, but just in case, they do offer it for free for the first year, and as you can see, it's like $2.88 after. They keep on raising that. It used to be about $1. So I just always click X on there. I end up with so many free ones I never use. It's sort of a joke. The one thing I do recommend adding is your positive SSL down here. It costs $1.99 for the first year, which is like 80% off. It normally runs about $10. SSL is one of those things, unless you're making oodles and oodles of money, like more, let's say more than $1,000 a month. I would stick with the cheapest. With the internet being as it is, with spying and the NSA and all that stuff, a whole bunch of your clientele will trust your website with SSL when it wouldn't, even if when they wouldn't otherwise, even if you aren't selling anything, even if you aren't doing anything private. Now, of course, if you're going to have user accounts, you definitely want SSL. No one sane will type their password in a non-encrypted site, nor should you ever. So with that, I'm pretty sure their email program is pretty decent. I have my own email. We're going to go over that in just a little bit. But we're going to confirm the order. It looks good. Now, it always wants to put my old address here. I'm just going to change that to my corporate account. Now, I always enable mine for automatic renewal for the simple reason that no one wants to lose their domain name, probably forever, if you forget to renew it. I mean, even if you don't lose it forever, the domain sharks will come in, buy it up, and then try to resell it to you for $500 the next day. I mean, it's not worth it. So I always click that. I like to use PayPal with this service, just because my credit cards can change, but PayPal always remains the same. And when you're registering domains for like 10 years, who wants to miss renewing the domain because your credit card expired in between the last year or something? I mean, it's like totally crazy. That happened to me also. But PayPal is usually stable. I usually have PayPal for 10, 15 years now, so I think it's going to last a lot longer than any of my debit or credit cards. So I just tie it directly there. I use LastPass to manage my passwords. If you haven't checked out LastPass, it's really great. So LastPass filled this in for me. It's tied to my corporate bank account, which looks good. And that's basically it. We've bought our first domain. Typically, I've seen people charge $50, $100 for this. Sometimes they like to tell you it costs $50, but they're doing it for free. But as you can see, it takes about 5 minutes. It shouldn't be more than $5 plus the domain fee, I wouldn't think. So, okay. Let's go ahead and manage this. So, as you can see, I have quite a number of domain names. Just go down to here, click manage. The most important thing about domain names is the IP address. The IP address states what server it's going to be hosted on, and it's basically how everyone finds your website. So that's something you really want to change immediately. Unless you're instructed to do otherwise, I wouldn't touch it. I wouldn't transfer your DNS away from Namecheap or wherever you buy your domain. Instead, just manage the DNS from there. Usually the domain name providers have better DNS servers than any ISP ever. So I just clicked on the advanced DNS. These defaults suck, so I'm going to delete them. Yes. Yes. But apparently it wants me to rename them, so let's change this. The @ sign stands for your domain name itself. That should always be an A record. An A record is a IP version 4 IP address. It's what you're most likely to get at this day and time. It's not anything like this. My host's IP address I have memorized, so I'm just going to type it in there. You basically want to leave the TTLs to automatic. What it means is that every time someone visits your site, if the TTL set to 1 minute, then it does one pull request, and if they come back in 2 minutes, then it'll do another pull request, which is just needless. I mean, back in the day it used to be 72 hours. Now the industry standard's gone down to 60 minutes. You should never really need 60 minutes unless you're changing your server quite frequently. But I always just keep it on automatic anyway. Dub, I also make an A record, point to the same place. Alright, let's save both of these.